All right, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy CJ100,
Your guy Tez the Fi.
and you are tuned into
The Fi 100 Podcast.
So I want y'all to go ahead and hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can get all of our content as soon as it drops.
Yes, sir.
Now that we got that out the way, let's get into today's topic.
So y'all, on this episode, man, we wanted to talk about a topic that is huge.
Yes.
A huge, grandiose topic.
Ooh, big word.
Yeah.
I like that. You been studying, my boy?
A little bit. That's what I had in the bank.
Okay.
But
in the chamber.
Yeah. But it's feminism.
Yeah.
And for me, it's one of them topics that I feel like a lot of men don't speak on.
Yeah.
Or a lot of men really just kind of be like whatever. And unfortunately, I'm one of them men.
Yeah.
But the more and more I'm looking at it and researching, the more and more I'm kind of understanding the impact that it's having on the world economy, especially in our own society as being black men.
Yeah.
So CJ, what we got, man? What we got? What are we feeling about this?
Well, one thing I want to say, I don't have a problem with women being treated fairly.
Right.
I don't have an issue with, women having the right to vote, work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have no issue with that. I'm willing to learn.
Right.
Like, cause I understand women have issues that we just don't get. Like, I can see that because I don't deal with women every day.
Right.
My whole being is just completely different. So I'm willing to be taught the stuff I don't know. However, when it comes to boys and men and what we do in our culture and how we feel about certain things, I'm not gonna bag up off something I believe in.
Right.
That's just my thing.
And I think that's how it should be. Period. I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I learn, I understand, and I evolve. But if it's something that I know I'm right on, I'm right on it.
Right.
Like
you can't tell me what it's like to be a man.
No. And these some of the topics that we gonna tackle on this feminism episode, man, because it's a lot of things that a lot of men just haven't been addressing when it comes to this topic. And I know it's something that a lot of men need to speak on, especially black men, because for some reason people believe that ain't seeped into our society, when if you start looking deeper, it's deeply rooted in there.
It's there.
Yes, sir.
It's definitely there. So I think one thing I agree with is that women have the right to work.
Yeah.
Like, women should get paid the same amount as a man. They're doing the same job.
Right.
Credentials play a part in that and how much you work. But as far as the base pay, who doesn't?
Right.
Like, why would I sign up to be like, I want to pay people less? And I was listening to Jordan Peterson one time. He said, if that's the case, why aren't there way more people getting hired as women? Because that's cheaper on them.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Right.
But, I understand that I don't know everything. There are nuances into the pay scale. I get all that. Like, I'm not saying we got that all figured out. But, I don't have a problem with women working. We were raised in a generation where that's all we saw.
Yeah. We saw women working. We saw women having to take up for, the slack of if their man was there or whatever.
Right.
But I agree with that. Like, I've never been a guy that was like, a woman shouldn't make the same amount of money as a man. Like, right. I don't think that's an issue. I don't think it should be an issue.
Facts.
I mean, hey, if I'm a vice president and she a vice president at the same job, we should be getting the same pay.
What's the issue?
That's how I feel about it too. I agree with that one as well. Now, one thing I will say to kind of counteract that is,
okay,
we also understand that it's a lot of jobs that men do that women won't do. Now, I'm not saying that women shouldn't be applying to those jobs and shouldn't get them if they apply, but I ain't seen too many female construction workers.
Nah, I ain't seen too many ditch diggers.
Female plumbers.
Or, people that's in the oil derricks.
Right. I don't see that. Now, I'm not saying a woman shouldn't be able to get those jobs. It's
right.
Just, if you really want equality, come get down here in this ditch with me and see how they work out.
Right. And that's a whole nother thing, but I agree. It's what is equality?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Other than what basic rights everyone should have. That's it.
Yeah.
To me, it ain't really getting too much further than that. Now, I watched the video where a guy was talking about the patriarchy and how men today feel like they can't express their emotion.
How we live in a world that makes fun of guys who cry, but 80% of suicides are guys.
Okay, this one's for dudes. And this is a perfect example why feminism is beneficial for men. All of you think feminism is hating men. It's not. It's about taking down patriarchy and its oppressive norms. Even though men are the ones who benefit from patriarchy the most, they're still victimized to an extent. You can think of it as misogyny being a two-way street. Patriarchy tells men they shouldn't be vulnerable or show emotions. It uses misogyny to label those things as feminine things. So when men get vulnerable or emotional, they're criticized, made fun of, told to be a man, not to act like a woman. That's toxic as fuck for men. Because men end up bottling up their emotions. They have nowhere to seek help for. And they don't know how to deal with these emotions. Patriarchy oppresses all of us. Some more than others, yes. But all of us. So men needs to be a feminist also for their own sake.
This is a two-sided thing for me. Because I think that, there is a segment of the population that feels like men can't cry.
Yeah.
Or men can't deal with the emotion or whatever the case may be. However, I don't think it's the patriarchy. Like, I think the patriarchy is just overstated.
Yeah.
Yes, men lead the world. That's true. But there's not men out here just bearing down on people saying you can't have emotion. There is men saying get your emotions in check.
Yeah.
That's where I agree. But I also feel like I should be able to express myself.
Right.
And I feel like they want our emotion until it's anger.
Subjective emotion.
Right. The one you like.
Oh, yeah. Which, the way I grew up, bro, when it comes to the emotion thing was, well, let me back up. I never seen my father cry.
Okay.
Not once in my life. I can remember vividly him telling me he loved me maybe 3 times in my whole life, and I'm 33. That didn't mean he didn't love me, because he showed it in him caring for me, wanting me to be a better man, showing me lessons to be a better man. It's just, it wasn't his job to voice that side of it.
Okay.
And I think that's where roles come in, and that's a whole nother subject. But
yeah,
it shows that emotion can be shown. It just has to be shown in different ways sometimes when it comes to being a man.
Right.
If your family see you breaking down, panicking over bills and over situations, then they gonna follow.
Yeah, they're gonna go into a frenzy.
Yeah, because they look at you as the stability.
Facts.
So
Facts.
you have to be the stability. So with the emotion thing, I don't think it's a patriarchy thing either. I think it's more what we seen and what we was around.
I mean, honestly, I got people in my family that weren't too big of men in my family that weren't too big about just saying I love you a lot, but they said it.
Right.
They showed it. You got just some people that are more in tune with that type of stuff than others.
Right.
I think there is a sex part of it that plays a part, but I also believe that it's a personal thing, like how you are as a person. Like, I'm very loving with my daughter, but I'm not like that with every girlfriend I've dated. I'm just not. Like, I just feel like my little girl makes me feel loved.
Yeah.
So I just say it. That's just me. But my father don't say that shit a lot, but he says it.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I don't see it as a thing to keep men down. My issue, though, with emotion is with women. This is not all, of course, but I've heard a lot of women say they want a man to be more emotionally available, and then you get in a situation where you feel like you're done wrong and you get emotional, and she's telling you you're being toxic. She's telling you to calm down, and I get it, because you don't want nobody, yelling or beating your ass.
Right.
It's like I've been in situations where I couldn't express myself, but she wanted the same. She wanted to be able to express herself like I wasn't able to. So I think that in that video I'm talking about, the first guy that came on the screen was talking about that.
Yeah.
The fact that women say they want these things, and then when you do it, it's not accepted. They will tell you be a man quicker than a man will tell you to be a man.
And that's crazy how you can tell a man to be a man when you don't know what a man truly is. Like, that's one of the things that we speak about a lot on our episode, which is a woman can't raise a man.
No.
I don't care what you say. I don't care how you try to flip it. You can't raise him because you can't teach him the thing. You can't really teach him the things that he needs to know to be a man. Now, you can tell him things that you done seen, or maybe things that you done heard, or what you would think a man would be.
Right.
But it's just certain lessons he ain't gonna be able to get from you if you a woman.
That's a fact. That's one of the things that we talk about, man. So, I need you to do me a favor, bro. What is the definition of feminism? Like, what's the actual definition of it?
Feminism, a noun, the advocacy of women's rights on the basis of equality of the sexes.
What about radical feminism?
Radical feminism is a perspective within feminism that calls for a radical reordering of society in which male supremacy is eliminated in all social and economic contexts.
That's loaded right there.
Yeah, we want to make this clear on this episode, and we have already kind of started there with things that we agree when it comes to feminism.
Okay.
And I think the best thing for us here on out is not to say women, but to say feminists on our points.
Okay.
Because I think everything that we about to say from here on out gonna be pretty much based towards that group.
Okay.
Feminists and feminism was needed at a point in time.
Correct.
And if you go back and listen to some of our episodes, we done been very consistent with it.
Yeah.
But when you look at stuff like radical feminism, that's when it kind of started getting to a point of, okay, now hey, all right.
It sounds like supremacy.
Yeah, now you taking the liberties for granted now. It's like, okay, thank you for giving me the right to vote. Thank you for giving me the right to work. But now I want your spot.
Okay. Question. How do you feel about this? Tez, you believe in equality?
Yes.
Oh, you're a feminist.
I disagree with that.
We just read the definition.
Right.
It did not say that.
No.
And I hate when people do that.
Right.
I really don't like that. Because the word feminine, the word femme, even in gay relationships, they got the femmes and they got the studs.
Yep.
Like, it's understood what that is. It's associated with women. So to tell me that I'm a feminist because I agree that things should be fair and equal, but I disagree with the social part of some of it. Like, women will tell you, or feminists will tell you that, let's get into the first point. They will talk about the A word.
Yeah.
The right to get rid of your child. To tell me that I'm not a believer in equal because I don't want you to get rid of a child makes no sense to me.
Nah. Man, it's crazy. I was looking at a post earlier today on Facebook that's similar to this point.
Okay.
And the post was, things that a man can't tell a woman about because it's her body. And one of the biggest arguments that I was seeing in the comments and even in myself was, where if you having a man child, don't he gotta say so in this? I mean, now look, we understand that people have one night stands. We understand that the R word happens. And in those cases, different precautions need to be taken.
Right.
But if this a one night stand, or if you've been messing around with a woman husband or somebody boyfriend and you get pregnant, and now all of a sudden you trying to get the A word, we ain't rocking with that. I don't see that as equality, because what you doing is you making a decision without the other shareholder.
That's a fact.
That I can't run with that at all. And a man should have a say so in this. Well, your body don't change and you might not die, but
True.
you should have thought about all this shit before you decide to do that with no condom.
And see, that's my thing. It's like that step didn't happen or something. It did. The A word is not the only way to prevent an unwanted child. It's just not. It's and y'all got 97,000 birth control options.
Facts.
It's like, and then you say, "Oh, I don't believe in that," and it affects my body. I've seen it affect the woman's body.
Me too.
So I get it. So just stop having raw sex.
Right.
Like, it's like you can't have it both ways.
No.
And
that's one of the things that we disagree with when it comes to feminism, because it's like you want to be the superhero and the villain. Like, it's, bro, we use that so much because of the situations like the A word. It's like you want the benefits, but you still want to be able to cry on somebody's shoulder after you do. It's like, wait a minute, you can't make the decision and then be like, man, golly, you know what? I just want everybody to feel bad for me. You made the choice. That's like if a man rob a bank and he go to jail. He don't bust out crying because he going to jail. He understood that was one of the consequences of him doing something illegal.
it's just when it comes to this A word, man. Let's just say this: we don't have a choice in the matter.
No,
like literally, we don't. Us as men, when the child is in the baby, when the baby is in the mama, the seed has been planted. True enough, men really don't have a say as far as if it's gonna be done or not. But the audacity of some of these women to just be like, you don't get to speak on it. Like, no, because you gonna want me to speak on it when you want the child.
Exactly.
You gonna want me to speak on that child support you gonna want.
Yes, sir.
So I don't agree with that logic, man. I really don't. And that's why I want to speak to that, because we ignore that.
Yeah. And that can tie into toxic masculinity as well. And that's a phrase that's thrown around a whole lot now.
Yeah.
And we kind of want to break down this notion of toxic masculinity.
Facts. Let's go.
We do know that it is a sense of toxic masculinity that exists.
Yes.
But I don't believe if a man disagrees with a feminist, he is a toxic male.
I don't agree that if we say men are naturally stronger than you, that I'm toxic.
Those are not, them is statistics, them facts. Like,
that's science.
That's science. Facts over feelings. Another one of our sayings.
Yep.
I don't care if you feel like we can bench press the same amount.
Yeah.
I don't care if you feel like if we both take off running, I'm a trained sprinter and you a trained sprinter, you gonna beat me. It's a reason why roles are created. I said that earlier. I feel like the toxic masculinity thing is being used as an excuse to be like, I can do whatever I want and y'all shouldn't tell me nothing. Or if you do tell me something, you're a toxic male.
Brother, I was watching another video, and I agree with you, brother, because I was watching the video, right? But this girl, maybe she's a woman, I don't know her age, but she said she had a younger brother. And she was teaching him basically how to be a feminist.
Woman's bold, so to speak, pussy you sour, never giving credit where it's due, because you don't like pussy in power. Venom. It's a woman's bold, so to speak.
And what women should be, how they should be protected, and yada, 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 right? So she said her brother went to school and she was proud, basically, because he got to fighting. Pause. Women will attribute toxic masculinity to men fighting.
Correct.
But it's okay when he's pushing the agenda that you want.
When he's doing it on your behalf.
Right. And that's what I'm saying, because it goes back to the whole thing of men and what we're able to do. When you hear a knock at night, a window breaking, you want a man there. I don't know how many of y'all watch Fresh and Fit or in the YouTube streets or whatever, but there was a situation where a man kicked the door.
What's going on in here?
Oh, what
I am this here.
What's going on?
What the
shit.
heck?
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh.
All right, guys.
What's up? Oh, Iondays?
Guys, this is really bad.
This is really bad.
Uh-oh, wait.
Yo, Andy, don't come in this house. Don't come in this house, bro. Don't come in this house.
Whoa. Okay, I got
Oh.
And there was a bunch of women in there. Men went towards the problem. Women went the opposite way of the problem.
Right.
Naturally.
Right.
And if you watch that episode, they was tough as hell the whole time.
Yeah.
So don't try to discredit my masculinity when it's convenient.
Right.
Like toxic, we know what toxic behavior is.
Right.
I know toxic men, that will cheat on a woman, act crazy, and look at her like something wrong with her when she got a problem. That's a toxic man.
That's what men see as toxic males.
Right.
But the problem is, like I was saying earlier, is women, feminists use that as, if you don't agree with feminism, you're a toxic man. And
Right.
we 100% against that.
Fact.
Just because we don't agree with your ideologies all the way, don't mean that we toxic males. So, another subject that we wanted to get into.
And this is not a disagreement. This is just a discussion piece.
Right. Which is consent.
Okay.
This another big topic when it comes to feminism. The consent has definitely changed over the years. Even from when I was growing up. Like, it's completely different. You know, now you damn near gotta sign a contract to have sex with a female.
For real.
My boy gotta sign an NDA, all type of stuff.
Talking about you gotta put a note on the door. Look, I'm interested in sex. Are you? and I wanted to speak to that, brother, because matter of fact, I'ma hold it. You go ahead, brother. I'ma hold that one.
And it's seeming like more and more it's all dependent on the woman.
Yep.
CJ gave an example earlier how, especially with us growing up in the era we grew up in, it's a lot of times we didn't ask, could we fuck? Like, I don't remember too many times asking, hey, can we have sex? Like, this just me. I don't know, brother. Maybe you have. I haven't.
Never.
So it's a feeling there. We both, it's an energy in the air.
Right.
To where I slide my hand up your thigh and you be like, you give me that look like keep going, and I keep going, and now we got action.
Right.
I didn't have to ask you no question like, oh baby, is it okay if we have sex tonight?
Are you with this tonight?
Like
intercourse with you.
Now I'm not even saying that it shouldn't be something that's talked about.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, that's different.
Like, if this is a conversation we have to have, I'm fine with it.
Right.
But if we already in the groove,
that's it. Say no more. That's the problem.
That's it.
That's the problem, because when you in that groove, and I'm not saying that even if you're in that groove and she say no, stop. If she say no, it's over.
It's over.
Let it go.
Yes,
like,
sir.
Don't even. But see, I've been in situations where it'd be a soft ass stop, and I know she like aggressive men. See, that's where you put men in this. This is the side of the feminists y'all need to listen.
Yes.
Because women enjoy that.
Yeah.
Women enjoy aggressive.
The rough housing.
It's discretional.
Yeah.
And then sometimes, I mean, I've had a situation. I'll tell you a quick one real quick. I was dealing with this girl, and we were chilling the whole night. Like, she was all up on me, like, I'm talking about, I'm grabbing ass, all that. We chilling, you feel me? And it got to the point where I'm like, man, my shit,
I'm ready to go.
You know what I'm saying? We rock hard in this bitch.
Yes,
so
sir.
I'm like, all right, so I'm ready to slang some wood. So she let me kind of pull her joints down a little bit, but she's stopping me, and then she's smiling. So I'm like, all right, so she want to play.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it got to the point where I pulled him down more, and I got a little more aggressive with it, and then she like hit my hand, like sternly. I immediately got up and left.
Yep.
Because that's so confusing.
Yes, sir.
But I'm not gonna play this game.
No.
Like I'm too grown for that.
Yes, sir.
And that's where we trying to get women to understand, like, consent, we get it. No man, and I'm saying man, I'm gonna talk about men. No man has the right to take from a woman.
Never.
Force a woman into doing something. I've had situations when I was younger where I grabbed a girl ass. We had no connection, nothing. I was a dumbass kid. I was wrong for that.
Yep. And that was taught with us too. Like, when we was younger, we thought that was cool to do.
Right.
And as we get,
well, was it really taught though?
I mean, not taught, but I mean, when it's a bunch of kids and
like
smashing on the ass is just a regular thing.
Right. It's like, you want to just do that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But as we started getting older, especially now, and we start kind of seeing like the error of our ways, like, that was wrong.
Right.
Like,
there was things women did that harmed men that was not right.
Right.
And let's speak to that. What's the consent for women? Because it seems like they can do what the fuck ever.
It's no consent when it comes to males. Like, bro, we talked about this before on the episode. When Terry Crews come on these women shows, they walk up to him, grab his chest, rub his stomach, grab his butt, and it's just a bunch of people yelling and screaming.
Right.
Let the roles been reversed, and there was a man, as soon as he seen that he grabbed her chest, he started rubbing her butt. You'd be like,
It'd have been the headlines, tabloids, all that.
and feminism or feminists, if y'all want equality, why is one wrong and not the other one?
Yep.
I mean, if feminism is equality,
supposedly men can be feminists. Where's the equality for us?
like let's be honest here. Like that's the thing that we have an issue with.
Yeah.
If feminism equals equality, why is it not equal on both sides?
In that courtroom.
Yep.
Why is it not equal in child support, divorce? Why is it not equal when it comes to jail time and sentencing? It's not. But I don't hear y'all fighting that fight. So that's why I said I believe in equality in the sense of law should be fair around the board. I believe in that.
100%.
But these social norms, like some of that's just not gonna change. It's just how we view things. But you can't tell me that you're independent and you don't need men and you're a powerful woman and then you get alimony.
Ooh.
That don't make sense.
Ooh.
It's a direct contradiction. Child support is me and my child's mother get along well today. But one thing I won't let her have is that.
Yeah.
Like you can't talk that to me and you got me on child support.
Right.
There's certain things you can't talk to me about. When you make a certain step, you can't get wet and tell me you ain't jump in the pool, man.
Yes,
you can't do that. You can't. It don't make sense.
So feminism, we want to talk about how that's affecting young men, young boys, manhood.
Mm-hmm.
You sit down and diagnose these things, the more and more you start to see how they're being taught, they're being implanted into young men.
Yes.
So you have young men doing like CJ said, the young lady he used in that example, she is teaching her 13-year-old brother to fight and argue with grown men about their beliefs. Now the reason why that stuck out to me is because you willing to put this 13-year-old boy in front of a bunch of men and you don't know what the outcome gonna be.
Right.
Every man ain't Jay-Z in the elevator. I keep saying that.
That's a different level of restraint, man.
Right. You might think what he's saying is the truth. You might think what he's saying is right. Yep. But when he run up to a grown man, he gonna be like, hey, bro, get the fuck out of my face.
And even if she didn't say grown men, if she just talking about boys in school, the issue is you're creating what you say you got a problem with.
Right.
You're going to create a fight. You're going to create men showing a side of us that shouldn't always be shown.
Yeah.
We should have civil discourse. But you're putting a battery in his back.
Mm-hmm.
And see, you said it earlier. Women, you cannot raise men. You cannot make a man be more of a man, and you cannot teach a boy how to be a man. You can raise an adult. You can raise a child up to be a grown man in the sense that he's a grown male.
Yeah.
But you cannot teach him how to shake when he take a piss right.
Yes, sir.
Like, you cannot teach him how to deal with confrontation with other boys. You can only tell him, you can read out of a book and say, this is what you should do.
Yeah.
But when you in the situation, it's completely different.
Completely different. And you getting this from men.
Exactly.
Like, that's the thing. And that's another
Value
thing.
that.
Yes, sir. I think that's what feminism and feminists miss.
Yeah.
It is a male component there for a reason.
Like, not all of what, and there have been bad men that have beat women down and literally try to use what we do have over you to their advantage to hurt you. We get that those are toxic males. You got to learn how to don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Yes, sir.
You have to do that.
And that's why we want to separate women from feminists.
Right.
Because all women are not feminists.
No.
All men aren't toxic males. We know that there are some in each department, but you can't throw everybody in together.
So, like, basically, the last thing we want to leave y'all with, masculinity is not bad.
Right.
And we can't label everything as toxic masculinity because we don't like it or it's not in our favor. Like, you can't get in a situation with a man and he puts you in your place. Then you know where he's standing and be like, now you hate men and it's toxic masculinity. That's not how we do this.
And bro, I wanna ask you a question. Have you ever heard a woman explain her relationship to with a man and she be like, "Oh, it was toxic"?
Yeah, every time.
And it's never an explanation. It's just it was toxic.
And you never hear you never talk about how they were toxic. They'll either talk about him being toxic or they'll say the relationship was toxic. They'll never talk about what they did.
Yeah.
And see, that's where feminists lose me.
Yep.
Or even if you're not a feminist, but you got feminist ideology, that's where you lose me.
There we go.
Because it's all about blaming us. Listen, you need to understand the world is built with us. The world is protected with us. Are there women doing it too? Sure. But at the end of the day, there are more of y'all and there's still more of us doing that.
That is correct.
So there obviously is some kind of divine intervention there. So all I'm saying to you ladies, to you women, to you feminists, every woman, understand that we have a role on this earth.
Yeah.
And some of it you're not going to like or agree with all the time. But we're our own individuals. Now, us as men all have our own way of viewing things, but there are some things that we have collectively. Most men want to lead.
Yeah.
Most men want to protect naturally. You don't even have to be taught it. That's just in us. We look at y'all and we want to protect you. We want to love you. But y'all cannot keep pushing us away with these feminist ideologies because you're hurting families.
Yep.
You really are. You got organizations out here that I can't get into because I don't want to go that far. But you got organizations out here that's against the family. That's literally against the family. A man leading his household. I don't understand the problem with that.
Yeah.
I really don't. I get how y'all want to be the leaders in certain situations, and you are. You just miss it because you trying to be what men are.
Yeah. And that's the biggest problem that we have with feminism.
Yeah.
There are roles for a reason.
Yeah.
Women have roles, men have roles.
And get past, we're not talking about cooking.
No.
Like that's so surface level, like get out of here.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like we breaking this down to the essentials.
Yes.
Men have roles, women have roles.
Yep.
When we start going outside our roles, that's when things start going bad. And we already seeing that.
Yeah.
So feminist women, just like CJ said, we love y'all. We understand that y'all feel like y'all ain't getting a fair deal sometimes.
Yes.
But what y'all gotta understand is men have to deal with our struggles and our raw deals too.
Yes, sir.
So just because y'all speak louder on y'all, that doesn't mean we don't struggle with issues as well.
Facts.
The only difference is y'all way louder when it come to y'all.
And if you want us to listen, how about you tone it down and talk to us? Stop talking at us. Stop telling us we don't because y'all use words too to knock us down. Y'all let's say mansplaining and all these crazy terms to make men feel less than. And who got the worst tongue? Who got the most harshest tongue, men or women?
Definitely women.
So come on, let's just keep it G, man. We can talk about societal norms another day, but as far as our roles as men, like men, real men are not gonna back up off of that.
Nah,
it's not gonna happen. We are willing to work with you, but you're not gonna take from us, or you're not gonna belittle what we are.
Nope.
It's just not gonna happen. But we do get where y'all coming from.
Can't allow it. Not to say that we don't understand where you coming from. Like CJ said, it's just we understand the nature of the beast.
Yep.
We understand why men got certain roles and women got certain roles.
Yep.
And when real men start backing up off them roles, we allow the chaos.
Facts.
And that's something that me and my family, CJ and his family, and we know men, we ain't gonna let that happen.
Nope. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. I appreciate y'all coming through for this conversation. Make sure y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to make sure you get all of our content as soon as it drops. All right, make sure you tell them about the website, bro.
So the website is the 5100podcast.com.
Yep.
We launch exclusives there. Also join our newsletter as well.
Yep.
You know, we gonna have a lot of exclusive stuff on the website. So please join our newsletter. Go check out the website, the5100podcast.com. So for your guy Tez the 5,
your boy CJ100,
we are
the 5100 Podcast. You dig.
Yes, sir.